Aujourd'hui, je vais parler de, well, in my ancient age, what I realized that I've pretty much copied, aka cloned over from my folks, and how I feel about that. Oh boy, conflicted would be the summary, I'll tell you that right now. Hey, XenPuck here. Now that I'm a homeowner and married and all that, I started to notice a disturbing trend. Maybe I'm turning into my parents. Ooh, yeah, and I don't even have a kid yet, okay? So this is extra concerning, or so I thought. I mean, honestly, today I'm just gonna list 3 traits that surprised me when I realized that I'm becoming like very parental unit-like. Not gonna lie, I don't actually hate them all. No sirree, okay? In a way, I'm glad my folks actually, they don't know about this channel, so they probably won't be watching this very soon after I post this, okay? Maybe they'll get to someday in the future, and I hope they're okay with the fact or the idea of being copied might still irk me a little bit, okay? None of us can help the nature part of, growing up, right? But I would like to think how we grow up, aka the nurture part, is quite different, especially between me and my parents. So I hope they won't mind that I am surprised that I am this much like them, okay? Possibly getting more so over time. So yeah, like and subscribe and all that social media buzzwords that I'm frankly about. Okay, do what you want. I'll be great regardless. So number 1, I've gotten way more obsessed with organization and certain types of cleanliness, okay? I feel like no one who knew me when I was younger would actually believe this point unless you've seen me recently, okay? I mean, I remember distinctly the shame on my mom's face when she first saw my college dorm room, okay, like freshman year. I mean, it was just a disaster zone, and it wasn't even like I didn't know that they were coming to visit, okay? And still, I didn't even bother to kick my laundry underneath my bed, okay? That's the level of I don't care-ness back in the days, right? I'm pretty sure she actually said to me, I didn't raise you to live like this. And I just shrugged it off, obviously, figuring she was, just kind of hating on my vibe or whatever, my parade of freedom, okay? That was then. These days, I am the one that folds the laundry and keep tabletops clean or bedroom floors clean from obstructions. And frankly, I do it pretty gladly, right? I don't even recall when that transition actually happened. I mean, by no means am I saying that I am at my folks' level of like meticulous household maintenance, but I've definitely noticed that I've turned a corner, okay? Even messes that used to bother me the least in the past, like, papers on a tabletop, like a dining table kind of thing. Now, I mean, I just feel compelled to at least group them in some fashion in stacks. That's reasonable, okay? And I'm doing this without anybody telling me to do so, right? So, yeah. I am slowly moving in the direction of becoming more and more clean and organized. I don't really mind this change. Somehow the act of cleaning and organizing a little bit, I think keeps my mind more calm. So I feel like, so I like how it feels, okay? Which is a really strange thing to say, I think. Okay, the second point, I definitely notice that I tend to over-lecture sometimes, right? Case in point, look at these clips, okay? To me, this was a trademark dad move for as long as I can remember, right? If you ask him for driving directions like back in the days before GPS was literally in the pockets of every single person on the planet, okay? He would give you so many details as to the various landmarks as prompts, not just like when to take turns, but when to change lanes. He'll tell you when to change lanes if you start seeing a McDonald's on your left or a Wendy's on your right. Yeah. My dad has a great memory for facts, and he's all too eager to give more context than any audience could possibly want for any kind of, storytelling, okay? And these days, I find myself pausing occasionally, trying to explain things and going, oh my God, have I just given too much context and background information that my audience is not only just confused, but already falling asleep, right? This has definitely happened to me recently, okay? For this particular trait, I'm actually actively trying to not let it go too far, okay? I think it stems from the fact that I know how easily people can be misunderstood, so context and details and facts are important in storytelling. The problem, of course, I think I go into these diatribes sometimes without prompt. So maybe the adjustment that I can make is simply to only go into a ton of details when people ask me for more details, right? Yeah, I know my dad won't change his ways at this point, because, you know, he's actually old. But maybe, right, one can hope. But as much as I love my dad, I really need to make sure I don't turn into a carbon copy of his very heavy-handed dispositional style. Okay, point number 3. I have definitely settled into my introversion quite nicely. Right? It's both me and my wifey, actually, in this case. I think all throughout my teenage years, or even some parts of early adulthood, right? I really thought my parents lived very, very boring lives, okay? They don't really do that much compared to the options they have, especially because they live in New York City, right? There's literally all sorts of things to do. My folks, I don't know, they seem to just sit at home, read, listen to the radio, like the news, by the way, not even music, right? They seem okay with that. In fact, if I wanted some parental brownie points, all I had to do was offer them tickets to like a sports game or something, okay? I know my dad could just buy his own sporting tickets, but it just never seemed to occur to him, okay? He's okay with watching, you know, half the game on TV at night because sleep is still more important to him than the end of any baseball game, right? And now that I have hit middle age, yeah, I don't want to go out anymore either, okay? Not like never, but I'm just not tempted even on like a weekly basis. I think monthly, quarterly excitement, that's totally a good frequency, right? Maybe it's because I've already done a lot of that social stuff, right? Yeah, I know, that makes me sound old. I mean, I still like concerts and going out to eat at shows and whatnot, but the impact from them just doesn't compare to what it was like back in the days, right? A few weeks ago, I was out and about with some friends at a local club, and all I could think of is like, oh my god, I don't miss this level of anxiety about how to talk to strangers, or whether to, or how awful it is to be shouting at people over like booming music. Yeah, no, I'd rather be low-key and pleasant and happy, and I am that way in my own yard, to be honest, okay? So thank you, parents, for showing me that boring is totally fine. So, in conclusion, now that I think about it, 2 out of the 3 traits that I recognize as me having more and more of, that is, you know, the whole being cleaner and being more introverted, I don't really mind, okay? I think both really has to do with that general concept that I just want to be happy with less stuff, less clutter, right? Both physically and mentally. I think when I was younger, it was easier to chase the shiny object, the shiny place, right? That next fancy meal or show or outing. I keep thinking that will change my life somehow, right? I guess in a way it did, right? Now I know I can be happy with just, you know, myself and wifey, right? We derive our real joy not from more stuff or even stuff to busy our minds with for appearance sake, but instead, I think we've got our basic content level down already, just being a 2-person household, right? And that feels really good, really. Okay, maybe the audience can get there someday too, okay? Maybe, I hope I contribute a little bit through these videos. Let me know your thoughts below. Cheers, I'll approach it.